Hey guys, today we're going to be reviewing Vitality versus SK. SK's actually been on a very big uprise, and they've been doing incredibly well in LEC. You can see their new head coach, Broken Shard. Also, I've been very high on Pyrian. I did a lot of, I would say, agent work during the off-season and helped out a lot of the teams with their roster. And when I was talking to a bunch of the Korean players, one player they mentioned a lot that they wanted to go over to different regions with was Pyrian. So not surprised at all to see Pyrian do well in LEC, and yeah, I'm pretty excited for this VOD. For Vitality, they're still pretty much the same team they were at last Worlds. They're very aggressive. They have their own picks that they want to play towards, and they play towards bot lane a lot. And yeah, I thought if I was Vitality over offseason and over spring, I would try to be a more standard team while still keeping my flair of being an aggressive and an unpredictable team. But it seemed like they didn't really regress, but they didn't really improve either. They're just refining on the playstyle that they have. Without further ado, let's start the game. As for the webcam, I'll put it on when the game starts. I don't want to cover pick and bans. So Vitality banning Lucian Cassio right off the bat, and SK banning Draven Karthus. A lot of bottom bans coming out already. Cassiopeia is more of a bot lane pick than she is a mid lane pick. And yeah, I mean, a lot of bot lane bans. Also, Karthus, an incredibly popular jungler in Europe. A little bit of play in NA in mid lane, but mostly a jungle pick in Europe. So Sylas ban is actually pretty normal in my opinion, especially in Europe where people think Sylas is very OP. Urgot first pick, not that surprising at all. Let me pause so I can talk about the picks. Urgot first pick. Urgot was one of the unnerfed champs through 9.3, and he was an incredibly strong champion in 9.2. I think he is one of the best first picks now. So Vitality getting Urgot, and SK replying with Sion Alistar. I think the Alistar pick is a little bit early, and with Lucian and Draven gone, I think Israel is an incredibly good champion to pick up right here. You pick Israel here, they probably take Kai'Sa, and that's a completely fine position to be in. But taking support early here is a little bit questionable for me, especially with Braum already banned. I think they could have, if they do Alistar here, I would expect Vitality to take something like Tahm Kench or Gragas, because Jack Troll has shown that he can play Gragas into Alistar, so I think Alistar early here is kind of actually really dangerous. Ooh, going with Caitlyn instead. Caitlyn Morgana. Morg is a great pick into Alistar, and Morg pairs really nicely with Caitlyn. I think it's really important they take Israel here now. The other pick that you can pick into Caitlyn would be something like a Varus or an Ashe, but I'm not sure if either of them are viable at the moment. Ooh, Jinx is also a possible one. But Jinx, you're really reliant on her to actually get her items in scale. Well, this draft panning out a little bit differently than I imagined, but still, a lot of the things that they're doing does make sense. LeBlanc ban kind of weird because Lysandra is still up. If Vitality blind picks LeBlanc, just take Lysandra, and that puts them in a really bad situation. I don't really understand the LeBlanc Yasuo bans. Maybe they want to blind pick a mid on their fourth. That's the only reason you would ban LeBlanc and Yasuo here, because you want to blind pick your mid on the fourth. Let's see what they take. Yeah, they're blind picking their mid on the fourth, taking Ori. That makes the LeBlanc and Yasuo ban a lot easier to understand. Fifth picking jungler is kind of weird though. I know Selfmade is a really good jungler, but there aren't that many jungle matchups that are really bad or great in one way or the other, so I think saving your mid pick for 5 would have been better. It's like they finished up with Zoe and Jarvan. Let's see what FK picks into Jarvan for their jungle pick. I mean, you saved up all your picks to be able to pick a Lee Sin into a Jarvan. While Lee into Jarvan is a good matchup, I'm not sure if that was worth spending 2 bans and last picking 4. I think you can get much better matchups in mid lane, but we'll see. I think SK's draft is very teamfight oriented. Later on, the game goes, Jinx and Ori keeps getting stronger and stronger, and they have a good front line to go with it too. While Vitality draft is a little bit more pick oriented, but it's still a teamfight comp. Looking at picks alone, I like the right side draft a lot better. I know EU teams have been much better about finishing games and playing out the side lanes, and you can't just run a teamfight comp. But it's not like SK has a really good split pusher to go with things. So I actually do think maybe SK can fall behind a little, but Vitality won't be able to finish the game early enough where it's going to matter for SK. And SK is going to be able to scale up with Ori and Jinx. That's, oh my god. Holy shit, Mowgli actually played that. So him waiting there was so good. And he had a really great pathing, but he did a terrible job of actually landing the EQ. If he landed the EQ there, I think that burns a flash. Oh man, landing EQ there would have been so fucking strong. Cabochard's early game. Kill plus assist, second. Jungle proximity, 6.8%. I'll explain all the stats here. Kill plus assist at 15. I mean, obviously, how much kill and assist you have, he's second in the league. Jungle proximity, 6.8%, 7th. So jungle proximity is how nearby your jungler is to you and your lane. So he's 7th in jungle proximity. So that means he doesn't get his jungler nearly as much as other top laners. Forward percentage, 49.4% first. So forward percentage means how long you spend the time in lane forward, like actually forward beyond the river. How it basically signals how much priority you have in lane generally. And this guy has 49.4% and he's first in the league. And I'll hide my webcam for a bit. ISOD, that means isolated death. He's first. I'm not sure if he's by first they mean he's doing well or he's doing bad, but ISOD means isolated death. 1.25 isolated deaths per early game. So apparently I would assume this means he dies the least and not that he dies the most, because I'm sure there's players that have way more than 1.25. So yeah, Cabochard have actually been doing incredibly well early game without jungle help, and Vitality's majorly just play towards bottom. One thing that's great about running Caitlyn nowadays that used to be such a big problem before was whenever you run Caitlyn, and if you weren't able to get the turret early or get enough of a lead early, it was actually really bad for the Caitlyn. Of course, all the crit item changes helps the Caitlyn a lot, but there's another way to get a lead in the game now, which is through plates. And you can see that Vitality already got one plate. They're about to get a second plate. Oh man. Really nice E-flash from Cabochard, able to flip Whirly B and they get a kill off that. Oh wow, them surviving there is actually really big. And Caitlyn didn't need to burn her flash. It would have been a lot better if Morgana was able to shield the All-Star combo and just walk away, but this is still a good enough gank survive. They do burn Morg flash, so Morg has to play a little bit more back, but that doesn't change how they can play this lane though. They'll still be able to play up. That Lee gank was not worth. It took All-Star flash and they weren't able to actually kill anyone on Vitality and burn the AD flash, so that Lee gank was actually not that great. Vitality needs to push and reset. Yeah, they need to push and reset. They don't think about overstaying in this lane right now for bot lane, because Jinx already went and bot. If the longer they stay here, the worse it is. Like, Jinx is back with a BF sword. It's really important that the Caitlyn backs. Oh my god. This was such a dumb play. Oh man, stuff like this really pisses me off. I'll go back to it. So right here, if you look at bot lane, the Jinx just back. So when the Jinx backs here, Vitality needs to push out fast as possible, because Jinx backed and she's coming back with a BF sword. Instead, they're like waiting to push. They should just push this in. It's okay if All-Star freezes a little, his back will also be delayed. And they need to take the back right away, but they're staying trying to get turret plating or something. I cannot believe they stay behind and try to fight this. This is a Jinx with a BS sword, and this is a Caitlyn with nothing. And they decided to stay behind and fight this. It was just incredibly dumb on Vitality's bottom part. Like, how the hell? I don't understand. It's literally like trolling. Like you have a winning matchup, and you force the Jinx to back. Just take the back also. Like why are you staying in lane? I don't understand. Oh, also webcam size is a little weird. Oh, that was just... Why are you staying? Just back. Don't give them... Oh. He should have shielded himself. I mean, there's a mechanical mistake there, but they should have just taken the back. That was the biggest thing. Oh! Damn, the Urgot ult. Oh my god. The whole point of picking Caitlyn Morgana is to be able to get plating and maintain dominance in the lane. But now Jinx has 2 kills. They were only able to get 1 turret plating. The whole point of picking Caitlyn Morg went out the door. You can't pick Caitlyn Morg and play like this. If you pick Caitlyn Morg and you play like this, you're just throwing all your lead to the ground. It's not like the game is over for Vitality, but they're playing against the clock. Yeah, I'm sorry about the background noise. It's my fan starting up. The whole point of being on the Jinx Orianna side is once we hit certain amount of items, then we're able to win the game. Our team fight becomes way too strong. So Vitality needs to make sure they get a lead and they snowball with the lead before Ori and Jinx get to their items and they're too strong enough. They're too strong. But they're actually squandering the lead that they get. And you can't... We'll see how the rest of the map plays out, but Jinx getting those 2 kills and her getting a fast track to Infinity Edge is really bad for Vitality. Really, really bad. 1 Zoe bubble plus Q could turn this game. It's not that easy because Pyrian has Cleanse and they can protect the Jinx really well with All-Star Scion. There's a lot of things they can do to deny the engage. I don't think it's going to be easy as getting 1 bubble. Orianna isn't a real target because of the Cleanse, and Jinx is the only real target they could really turn the game with 1 bubble. Yeah, SK is actually the one that gets first bottom turret and they're rotating. They got the first dragon also. SK is so in control of this game. If the game just goes slowly like this, SK is going to win. Jinx already finished her Infinity Edge, so did Caitlyn. 1 more item and Jinx is fully on board. I mean, good poke, like stuff like that is nice from Zizuke, but it doesn't win them the game. It's not going to be game changing. It's almost going to be the time of Jinx going crazy. Oof. Yeah, they went aggressive towards the All-Star side, but sure, you can go towards the All-Star side all you want, but it's a Jinx that actually matters. Well, Caitlyn actually being able to kill the Jinx there is pretty big. Pretty good. Still decentish trade for SK. I think they got 2 kills there. They start with on Mowgli. All-Star goes in. Oh, they're able to kill the Morg after. Jinx stayed way too close. That was a mistake on Jinx's part to stay way too close in the fight, and then she died. Yeah, 2 for 2. Or 2 for 3. 2 for 3 and Vitality burns teleport. Not bad at all for SK. Now Jinx at 2 items. Yeah. Jinx at 2 items. The fights are just going to be so different. There is a slight danger that Jinx doesn't have flash right now, But long as SK plays it smart and they never let Jinx be in a position where she can be instigate by a Jarvan combo followed up with Zoe, they shouldn't lose this. Jinx on 2 items is incredibly strong. Right now, champions that can use Ruined Hurricane really well, along with IE, are incredibly strong. And Jinx is probably the best user of Ruined Hurricane and IE. Olive start going in on Kate. Jarvan tried to go on Jinx, but it's nowhere near the same. Damn, they actually got a good flash WQ combo followed up with Ori ult. Really well done. They should play to fight, not play to finish. They should play to fight. SK needs to walk up a little. Oh, they're playing to finish. Oh, they killed the Jarvan. That's why they're playing to finish. My mistake there. I'll actually explain a little bit about playing to finish and playing to fight. So, because they killed Jarvan, they're doing what's called playing to finish the Baron. So, when you do play to finish, you put your carries in the back and your tanks up front so that they have to come into you and you're playing to finish the Baron. When you're doing playing to fight, you put your carries on the left side, like right here. So the Ori and the Jinx would be positioned left side and the tanks would be positioned on the right side. So you can actually turn for a team fight. But this is called playing to finish. As you can see, they're going to put their carries in the back and their tanks up front so they can actually finish the Baron. Yeah. It was correct call to play to finish because the Jarvan's dead. I was wondering why the fuck are you playing to finish, but Jarvan's dead. Damn, game's gonna be over. Jinx has 3 items. Who Jinx has 3 items at this point? Stupid good champion. Oh man, he actually even missed the EQ on the Jinx, and then he had to flash ult, or he had to ult. Mowgli is trolling. Also, Swedish Toad, thank you so much for the sub, man. There's no way that they can handle the Jinx. Them EU teams actually do this too, where they just put 5 people mid. I guess you kind of had to with SK's comp, but you could always put Lee Sin bottom or Sion bottom. I think Lee Sin bottom's completely fine, like Lee Sin split pushing in this situation. Because when you just put 5 people mid, like you get stonewalled so hard, even with the Baron. Look. All they have to do is make sure Jinx is safe. They can lose this fight, make sure Jinx is safe, make sure she can keep her flash and back off. Oh! Damn, this self-made guy is actually super good. He sees opportunities really well. Just run. Just run. Let the Alistar die. Just run. Kind of overstayed together. WRQ. Wow. Beautifully played. Is that Dardock? Cape building. Was she building with pickaxe and attack speed? Pickaxe and attack speed. What does that build into? What the fuck is Cape building? Pickaxe and attack speed? I have no idea. Jinx 3 crit items complete. Just in a really strong state. And they popped over the wall, so Vitality doesn't even know they're doing this. Oh man, game's over. Oh, Storm Ragers. Maybe she is building Storm Ragers. That makes sense. Yeah. Now Jinx can just have a Jinx show. So even though this game was Crown Shot carrying, right? And the Jinx carrying, I think a lot of it was Vitality mistake and self-made, giving space for the Jinx to actually really grow well. Yeah, this was a lot of... Jinx played well, don't get me wrong, but more so than the Jinx playing well, Vitality bottom really trolled, and also the jungler for SK bought a lot of space for the Jinx to farm up and grow. I would probably, if I have to pick one MVP, I would actually give it to Selfmade, the jungler, more so than the Jinx. He bought so much space and time for the Jinx to actually grow.